The budget-friendly market section has plenty to offer when it comes to tablets. You would be surprised really whether you need an easy-to-carry device for school or a budget-friendly option. To keep your kids entertained, there's something for you out there now. The best budget tablets need to deliver decent battery life and sufficient processing power. For the most popular tasks, these features ensure you get the best experience without overspending. That said, make sure to follow our links to get the best deals and the latest discounts, and let's dive. Number 5. Lenovo Chromebook Duet. The Lenovo Chromebook Duet is a solid Chrome tablet that delivers decent performance and good battery life for $249, or less if you can find it on sale. While a tablet like the iPad or Galaxy Tab A7 may offer a better screen or a better selection of touch-friendly games to play, no slate can match the versatility of this Chrome tablet without a keyboard attached. The fact that Lenovo throws in a detachable keyboard with every Duet at no charge is the killer feature that elevates it onto this list, as it means you can effectively get a nice Chrome tablet that doubles as a productivity device in a pinch for under $300. You won't be playing the latest PC games or doing serious video editing on this Chrome tablet, but you can use it to knock out some emails or edit documents in a pinch, and that's great value. Design. Without the keyboard attached, the Duet feels like a solid tablet that's about 0.3 inches thick and weighs just over a pound. This makes it easy to use on the couch or in the car, as Chrome OS is nearly as touch-friendly as Android or iPad OS. Plus, the kickstand on the back, while somewhat weak, is nice to have when using it on an airplane or at your kitchen table. Connect the detachable keyboard and you get access to a viable, albeit cramped, keyboard and trackpad, which expand the Duet to be about 0.7 inches thick and just over 2 pounds. In this configuration, you can use it to get some work done, though you want to be careful about where you put the keyboard, as it extends down at an angle and is too flimsy to feel very good unless you're using it on a hard surface. Display. The Duet's 10.1-inch 1920x 1200 pixel panel is pretty good for a tablet this cheap. In our hands-on review, we celebrated its crisp picture quality and solid color accuracy, which are competitive with what you get on the iPad and Surface Go 2. In our brightness test, we clocked it maxing out around 372 nits, which is plenty bright, but just a bit behind the iPad and Surface Go 2 in terms of raw luster. Performance. Lenovo put a MediaTek Helio P60T 2.0 GHz octa-core CPU and 4 GB of RAM inside the Chromebook Duet. And that's enough power that even several years after launch you should count on being able to browse the web with little trouble. Since this tablet runs on Chrome OS, that's most of what you'll be doing with it. But you should also be able to have a good time playing games and running apps pulled from the Google Play Store. Chrome OS runs Android apps natively, so this tablet has access to just about anything you'll find on a competing Android slate. Battery life. The Lenovo Chromebook Duet lasted 12 hours and 47 minutes before giving up the ghost in our battery rundown test, which is a great runtime. It's not the longest-lasting tablet on this list. That honor goes to a Fire tablet, but it's still more than enough to get you through a day of work or school without having to charge up. Number 4. Amazon Fire HD 10 Plus. The Amazon Fire HD 10 Plus is a lightly upgraded version of the company's existing Fire HD 10 tablet. And until the debut of the Fire Max 11, it was the biggest, beefiest Amazon tablet you could buy. While we do like the larger, beefier Fire Max 11 well enough, we still recommend the Fire HD 10 Plus to those hunting for a great cheap tablet because it's relatively cheap, $179 to start for what you get. You can pay a small fee to remove lock screen ads, which we recommend, or to double the storage to 64 gigabytes, which might not be worth it when you consider this slate has a microSD card slot and can support up to an additional 1 terabyte of storage via microSD card. Design. Measuring 9.7 by 6.5 by 0.4 inches and weighing just over a pound makes the Fire HD 10 Plus an easy slate to tote around, and the upgrade to Plus brings with it a soft touch finish that might feel a little more comfy in your hands than the usual anodized aluminum tablet chassis. There's a single USB-C port for charging, and the upgrade to the Plus model also brings with it the option of wireless charging, since this tablet is Qi certified and can charge via supported wireless charging pads. Display. The 10.1-inch 1920x 1200 pixel display on the Fire HD 10 Plus is a pleasant surprise at this price. It gets nearly as bright and colorful as an iPad screen despite costing nearly half as much. so you can count on whatever you're doing looking good. Performance. The Fire HD 10 Plus packs a 2.0 GHz octa-core processor and 4 GB of RAM, which is more than enough to handle what you can do within Fire OS. Flipping between menus and loading up web pages is plenty snappy, but don't expect graphically demanding games to run well on this tablet. Battery life. The Fire HD 10 Plus lasted for 14 hours and 2 minutes on our battery rundown test, making it one of the longest-lived tablets on this list. While the difference between 11 hours and 14 hours of runtime may seem minor, don't discount how annoying it can be to own a tablet that's constantly running out of juice. Remember, great battery life means greater peace of mind, whether you're toting the tablet on a long flight or digging it out from between couch cushions every other weekend. Number 3. Microsoft Surface Go 2. The Microsoft Surface Go 2 remains our top recommendation for a cheap Windows tablet because it offers all the functionality of Windows in a sleek, portable slate. It offers better battery life than either its predecessor or successor, which is why we continue to recommend it despite its age. While the newer Surface Go 3 ships with a faster processor and Windows 11 instead of Windows 10, our testing reveals it's nearly identical to the Go 2 in terms of display quality and performance, while actually offering worse battery life. Design. The Surface Go 2 looks a lot like its larger siblings in Microsoft Surface lineup, sporting a silver magnesium shell and reflective Microsoft logo on the back. At 9.7 by 6.9 by 0.3 inches and 1.22 pounds, 1.75 W/optional type cover attached, the Surface Go 2 is slightly smaller and heavier than an iPad. It's nice that the Surface Go type covers are available in an ice blue, seen here, poppy red, platinum, and black. But we wish Microsoft also offered similar striking colors for the Surface Go's chassis. Display. The 10.5-inch 1920 by 1280 pixels display on the Surface Go 2 delivers a solid mix of brightness and color for the price. Our testing reveals it maxes out at an average of 408 nits of brightness, which is good for a tablet, though not quite as bright as something pricier like an iPad Air. Performance. Don't expect speedy performance from the Surface Go 2, which comes with either a weak Pentium Gold processor or a slightly more powerful Intel Core M3 chip. Neither is particularly new or powerful, but it's enough for basic tasks like browsing the web and working with documents or spreadsheets. Battery life. The Surface Go 2 lasted over 11 hours, 11:39, in our battery rundown test, which was a watershed moment for the Surface tablet line. It's good enough to get within spitting distance of the battery life of tablets that cost nearly twice as much, like the iPad Air or the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. Number 2. Samsung Galaxy Tab A7. The Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 is one of the best cheap Android tablets you can buy because it delivers decent performance in a premium, elegant design for not a lot of money. The Tab A7 wasn't built to compete with the best tablets on the market, but with nice thin bezels and useful features like facial recognition, it's competitive with the 2021 iPad despite costing $100 less. Design. Weighing 1.1 pounds and measuring 9.8 by 6.2 by 0.3 inches, the Galaxy Tab A7 looks and feels like an iPad. But it's a hair cheaper, and it comes with some features the iPad can't match, like expandable storage. You get nice thin bezels and a premium-feeling aluminum chassis that does bend a bit if you really try, along with USB-C port for charging and a microSD card slot and headphone jack. Two things the modern iPad doesn't offer. Display. The 10.4-inch 2000 by 1200 pixels display on the Tab A7 is more than good enough for browsing the web or watching movies. It's a lower resolution than the iPad, and it doesn't get as bright, but you'd have to set them side by side to notice. Performance. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 662, SM6115 processor and 3 GB of RAM inside the Tab A7 provide enough speed for everyday activity, but be ready to notice some sluggishness when flipping between apps or running anything demanding. You should be able to enjoy browsing the web, getting work done, and even some light gaming, but don't expect anything graphically demanding to run well. Battery life. Samsung's Galaxy Tab A7 lasted just over 13 hours in our battery rundown test, which is longer than Apple's iPad lasted in the same test. While it's not the longest-lasting tablet on this list, that's still a great score, one that should give you confidence that you can carry the A7 to a day at work or school without having to worry about bringing the charger. Number 1. Apple iPad 2021. The 2021 Apple iPad is a solid all-around tablet that runs just about any app from Apple's App Store with ease. The 2021 model is recommended for those on a budget because it's the last one Apple sold at a starting price of $329, before jacking the price up over $100 with the $449 2022 model. Admittedly, the newer iPads have a sleeker design with thinner bezels and no headphone jack, but the newer design and speedier processor aren't necessarily worth the extra cost. Design. The 2021 Apple iPad looks like an iPad, albeit with a slightly thicker, chunkier design than the most modern iterations. Its thick bezels may be an eyesore, but if they bother you, just remember you're saving over $100 by accepting them. This is also the last iPad Apple sold with a headphone jack, so if you like plugging in your own cans, this is probably the best iPad to buy. Display. The 10.2-inch, 2160 by 1620 pixels, Liquid Retina display on the 2021 iPad is bright and colorful, making everything you do on it look good. It does reflect a lot of light though, so don't expect a great experience using it outside in direct sunlight. When we tested the iPad 2021 in our lab, we found the screen's brightness maxes out at 494 nits in the center of the display, but it gets significantly less bright near the top and bottom, delivering an average maximum brightness of 473 nits across the whole panel. That's a bit worse than its predecessor or the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7, a more expensive Android tablet. Performance. Apple put an A13 Bionic chip inside the 2021 iPad, the same chip that drives the iPhone 11 family of devices. When the tablet was new, I noticed almost no lag when playing the latest games, noodling around in apps, or editing photos. Even now, several years later, you should expect respectable performance. Battery life. Apple advertises the iPad 2021 as lasting up to 10 hours on a full battery, but as is often the case, the company is commendably conservative in their battery life promises. In our tablet battery test, which tasked the slate with endlessly surfing the web over Wi-Fi with its display set to a brightness of 150 nits, the iPad 2021 lasted a good 11 hours and 59 minutes. 12 hours of tested battery life is nothing to sneeze at, and it means you can count on being able to carry the iPad 2021 through a day of work or school without needing to plug in. That's all for today, guys. Now, let us know in the comments, are you looking for a top streaming pick for your kids to enjoy, or for a work tablet that can handle designer tasks on a budget like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Have a good one.